So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you will have noticed I really like reviewing stuff out of little sample bottles like these. And I like it because it means I don't have to buy a full bottle of something and put out a lot of money that I could be spending on my daughter's daycare. Um, and I don't have a full bottle to mess with and have to find space for afterwards. No, it's just kind of great to have these things around. Um, so I try to collect them. I trade for them. I actually owe people some. I should be sending people some return trades for some of these, but um, hard to find time. Um, but some of these like show up, and they're basically only half full. I only have an ounce to work with. Most of the time, I've got 2 ounces. I can do 1 ounce for making my little tasting notes, which I put right there, and I will stare down at during the course of recording these. But sometimes the stuff involved is so precious, or whatever the reason is, that I can't get a full 2 ounces. I've only got a little bit to work with, and which means basically I have to review these things on camera, which makes them especially scary because a lot of these are very serious, at least on paper. All right, so today I thought I would clear out my back stock of like half full sample bottles by doing some reviews on camera. So no notes, no prep work, no nothing. I'm just gonna pour these and we'll go. There's not even any particular theme here. Like, these are all different kinds of spirits, which is part of the fun, right? All right. So we're just going to go up in order of strength, and I'll add some water to them. Jesus. What is that? What? Okay, we'll talk about these as we get to them. All right. So what have I got? I've got a bottle of... I made some very brief notes for myself here. I've got a bottle of Groult. Come on, camera, focus. Groult 25-year-old Calvados from the Pays d'Auge in the center of Calvados. So predominantly apple-based, or rather I should say cider-based brandy. Pot distilled. Long fermentation on these. Very serious. This one is bottled at 82%, or 82, not percent alcohol by volume. 82 proof, so 41% alcohol by volume. And let's get stuck into this. I mean, it smells like Calva. It smells like it's a classic kind of Calvados nose. So lots of apple, but it's very kind of musty apple. It's you've kept a bushel of delicious dessert apples in the middle of like a really musty old cellar, and that's kind of what you're smelling. For 25 years old, this still smells incredibly fresh. I mean, it's the done thing in Calvados to re-rack your Calvados into larger casks after sort of initial 1 or 2 year maturation. So I'm not getting. I mean, there is oak on this. I am getting a very light touch of like, figs, prunes, just kind of musty woodiness. But really, what is at the center of this is appley deliciousness. Apples, apples, apples. And some flowers, too. There's some nice kind of floral things coming in now. But it's very restrained. It really just smells like I'm smelling, musty cellar apples with a couple of like a clump of flowers off on the side. And it's nice. It's really lovely actually. On the palate. Same kind of story. Restraint. restraint is kind of the order of the day here. Lots of apple in the arrivals, kind of carrying forward into the development and the finish. But what comes forward in the development is some very gentle kind of oaky notes, some like overstewed tea kinds of tannins, and some nice kind of musty woodiness. Yeah, some cinnamon sticks, clove, figs again, providing and some flowers, providing a little bit of halo around this. I mean, it's very nice. It's very refined, restrained. But as I recall, this is not an inexpensive spirit, and for something that probably costs, pushing $200, it's not really showing me a whole lot. So we're gonna give this a couple drops of water, come back to it. It's nice, but I do not think it's gonna win this comparo, considering what's coming up. All right, make a little note to myself as far as where I think that's heading. All right, second up, Cinco Sentidos. I've already done a no notes Cinco Sentidos score. It was maybe the most nerve-wracking video I've done. All right, this one in particular is from Antogenes Garcia from San Isidro Guiche in Miahuatlan in Oaxaca. And as it says in the label, this is basically a field blend, an ensemble of 4 Magueyes, which are Bicuiche, Coyote, Tepex, my old nemesis, Tepex State, and Madrecroiche. I will not be pronouncing any of these correctly, but whatever. Moving on. 74 bottles of this. It's the batch size is like 60 liters. 60 liters. Think about that for a second. We think of like bourbon barrels as exclusive. This is like a quarter of the size of a bourbon barrel. And interestingly, for Cinco Sentidos, this is copper hot distilled and not clay distilled. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, that is a very pretty nose, which is what I expect from these folks. Hold on, let me kind of get my bearings on this. So my first thought is a kind of almost a lemony cheese thing. Let me see if I can articulate that better. See, it takes some fresh cheese that you just kind of rendered on the farm, and then line the pot with a bunch of whole lemons. You haven't chopped them up or anything, just whole lemons. That's kind of what this smells like. But then you're going to throw onto that like a couple of like rocks, just like sandstone, soapstone. Yeah, there's and a spoonful of fresh yogurt on top of your freshly made cheese. It's very. If the grow is restrained, this is like just delicate and crystalline and yeah, this is a fantastic layered, three-dimensional nose. All right, I'm really pumped to try this on the palate. Let's see what happens. Oh, did I mention the ABV on this? This is what is this? 47.5% ABV. Let's get going on the palate. Oh, that's very good. We're leaning hard into a combination of citric sour and like lactic sour. So if you do not like those things, stay well away from this. But I'm absolutely into that. So yeah, let's give that another whirl. Okay, so you're gonna mix together some like fresh conventional yogurt and also like full fat Greek yogurt. I'm gonna mix those together. Gonna add like a squirt of lemon and lime each in there. You'd like throw some zest in there too. Then you're gonna pour all of your yogurt on top of like just a bunch of mixed rocks, right? Okay. Again, the sandstone, the soapstone, and just like gravel, just yummy gravel. And then on top of that, you're gonna dump a whole bunch of an entire flower shop worth of flowers. Like that's kind of what I'm tasting right now. Oh man, and it's the more I try this, the more the citrusy notes come forward. So maybe a couple of squirts of lemon lime in there, a little grapefruit too, like a little more grapefruit zest than grapefruit juice. Oh man, that is. I know I expect good things from Cinco Sentidos, but they just bring it. All right, add a squirt of water to that. Come back in a second. All right, now this third one is the one that kind of initially scared me because my God, look at this. Look at what is going on the bottom of this sample bottle. All right, this is Brugerolle, 24-year-old, distilled in 1993, bottled by Blackadder, who are notorious for basically just not filtering their bottlings, like at all. They're not taking out, like, they're not only not chill filtering, they're not taking out the big old barrel chunks in there. And you can kind of see, even in, I don't know if you can see that, but at the bottom of my glass, there are basically chunks of barrel floating around. And by the way, can we note the darkness of this particular glass of whiskey? Like, you expect a little bit of color after 24 odd years in oak, but this is a lot of, like, this is just incredibly dark color. So this is a cognac. It's from Grand Champagne, and it is rather terrifyingly bottled at 57.4% alcohol. So this is going to be fun. 126 bottles of this out there, apparently. And on the nose, I'm thinking more. You hand this to me blind, and I'm thinking more Armagnac than I am cognac. It's got the little hints of fruitiness and flowers that you might expect from a cognac, but it's really just all about French oak kinds of notes. This smells like take some old, Victorian furniture, like a wooden, I don't know, bench or something with some ancient cushions. Smell that. But then you're going to cover it with figs and dates and prunes, cherries, and a big old pot of like Darjeeling tea. And yeah, there's some flowers going on. There's a little bit of like a stone fruit kind of thing way in the background. But the focus here is clearly on the enormous amount of French oak. And that's okay. More tea happening. Quite a lot of black pepper in this. It's fun. All right, let's see what happens on the palate. Pray for me. Here we go. Um, very chewy, very chewy, very coffee driven. This is almost like a cartoon caricature of what, of like a, of Armagnac or Cognac that's very oak driven. It's so heavy on the, like, just take an old, ancient regime like French bench, put it into a grinder, and then put the sawdust into your mouth thing, along with a gigantic cup of overstewed coffee. Like, put all that in there. That's most of what's happening here. Along with some nice dried fruit kinds of things. The figs and the prunes are back. A little bit of a floral hint in there. I mean, my closest point of reference would be the Daniel Beaulieu cast strength, the Royale. That's actually grippier than this, but this feels chewier than that, if that makes sense. I mean, it's a style. This is absolutely a style. It's not something you see very often in Cognac, which is fun. Yeah, a little bit more peachiness coming through. Now I'm getting used to it, getting a little bit, I don't know. Getting used to it. Let's go with that. Okay, I'm going to add some water to this, and we'll come back to it. 2, 3, 4. What I'm guessing the water will do is bring out the cinnamon and the other sort of oaky spiciness kinds of things. This is fun. It's fun to just work through a whole bunch of different kinds of spirits in a single session. All right. Last up, I have got a Worthy Park. This is a Habitation Vellier release. This is their 2009, which I think is, actually there's a lot of info on this. 11 years old, bottle at barrel proof, and this is the WPL mark, which is the second lowest. So this is like 100-ish esters per hectoliters of pure alcohol. Something like it's on the lower end, and this is bottled at 117 proof. So 58.5% alcohol. When I like Worthy Park, I really like it. But I've also found some uneven bottlings recently, so I'm interested to see what this is like. Ooh. Okay, so it is definitely pot still rum. On the lower ester side, but the other side of that low ester thing is the floral aspect. Often with pot still rum at low esters, like, you just get lots of flowers, and that's kind of what's happening here. So I'm getting a ton of dried flowers married to quite a lot of kind of desserty elements. There's a pineapple upside down cake thing going on. There's a Virginia flake tobacco thing going on. A big old handful of olives, brine, fennel, and black licorice mixed. A little bit of vanilla, some creme brulee kinds of stuff, American oaky goodness. Yeah, this works for me. It smells kind of very well balanced, very much, Mai Tai fodder, yes, but a little nuttiness coming through. Just like nut shells more so than actual nuts. It smells nice. It smells like a very nice rum. And actually, now that I think about it, this is probably the cheapest bottle here. So if this is good, like, go out and get it. All right, on the palate of this. Ooh. Again, low esters. If you were looking for rocks, you know, alien rocks and Smarties candies, this is not the bottle for you. But this is really, really nice. Sweet tea made from Lipton's with a couple of olives dropped in, but nice. Lots of black licorice. Lots of absinthe alongside the black licorice. That Turkish delight, the kind of rose water and candied rose water note that I get from Worthy Park all the time. It wasn't really hitting me hard on the nose, but on the palate, it's definitely there. Vanilla, creme brulee, a little bit of RC Cola happening. Some white pepper. It's just a nice. This is a really, really nice rum. It arrives very kind of floral and kind of you know, cola fruity on the front end, and then gets sort of very dry and slightly smoky actually on the back end. Yeah, the Virginia flake thing from the nose is holding on the palate. It's like as you transition into the finish, that Virginia flake kind of catches fire, and you're getting kind of some nice aromatic tobacco smoke. This is quite nice. I might, depending on how this behaves when I add water, I might have to actually get a bottle of this. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gonna take 5. I just know it. That's got it. Okay, let's leave that sitting. Work our way back through the rest of these. Back to the Groult, 25-year-old Calvados. Now with literally like 2 or 3 drops of water. So the minerality has come out actually with water. It's mostly still about the apple, but now the rocks have started to come out to play a little bit more. What is that? This reminds me of something. What is that? Sorry. And this is the fun of really old things. You start getting slight tertiary notes that are hard to kind of pin down because they don't smell like things you would expect to get in spirits. So it's mainly still apple, but there's little hints of actually the same kind of stuff I was getting on the Clear Creek Douglas Fir brandy, a little or eau de vie. A while back. It's that fusion of like extreme fruitiness with like a Christmas tree, Douglas fir bud kind of thing. Yeah, let's call it fruity Douglas fir bud on this. It's really nice. It doesn't have the detail, the depth that I want from a spirit at this kind of price point, but you hand this to me and I'm happy drinking it. It's restrained. It's a little bit of a gentleman, put it that way, on the palate. me try that again. The finish kind of fell off a cliff for me, actually. No, it's not too bad. So, water brings out the oak a little bit, but weirdly enough, it actually clips the finish, like a little bit. On that first go through, it really wasn't kind of going past my molars, which is, again, not great for something at this kind of price territory. Try this one more time. I don't feel like dinging it for points, but I mean, it's a nice Calva. It's absolutely a nice Calva, but at the same time, I feel like it's not bringing much more to the game than that other Groult Calva I tried a while back. What would I score this? You know, it's nice, but it's certainly not exceptional. I would give this a good solid 84 points out of 100. 84 points out of 100, yeah. For this Roger Groult Calvados 25-year-old. Nice. But for the money, don't. I'm trying to get more details out of it. There's just, it's nice, but I don't see the value proposition. Right, moving on. Back to the Cinco Sentidos from Antogenes Garcia. Here we go. Not a whole lot of development in the nose of this either. It kind of just smells the same as it was before I added water. Maybe a little bit more minerally, like a cloud of sandstone dust. But you know what? That's okay. It doesn't need to develop much. It was gorgeous to begin with, and it's still gorgeous right now. All right, on the palate, here we go. Or maybe I should describe it again, right? It's still doing that very kind of lactic, yogurty, farmer's cheese kind of thing. Meets lemon, meets lime, meets lots of rocks, meets a slight hint of flowers. Actually, it's slightly herbal now. No, I'm going to take back what I said. What has come through is a little bit of a green note. So take all of what I just described, and then take some basil and a couple of Brussels sprouts. Throw them in there too. Yeah, I like this style. I really like this style. Let's see what happens on the palate. Same kind of story. Yogurt, citrus, rocks, flowers, with a little hint of, basil, maybe peppermint, a little bit of peppermint, and kind of vegetal stuff creeping in. Oh God, that is good. It's a little bit peppery too. There's a little bit of a white pepper thing going on. Yeah, no arguing with the quality of that. I'm going to give that. Can I get up to a 90? I don't think I can do a 90. I'm going to do an 89 out of 100. That's really nice. That's really, really good. At this point, the only competition in this lineup so far might be the Worthy Park. We shall see. That's going to be where the war starts. All right, Brugerolle. Sorry, long day for me. back to this. Now with a couple squirts of water to take it down, put some pressure on it. Nose actually shuts down a little bit on this. I'm now getting just kind of some vague kind of rancio, old leather, dried fruit sorts of notes. Not a lot of fruit, not a lot of flowers happening. Come on, wake up. And okay, that's about it. Like little leather, hints of old furniture, and lots of dried fruit. That's kind of all that's happening now that I've added water. On the palate. Yeah, so I'm gonna go out of my way and say, if you have a bottle of this, don't add water to this. It doesn't seem to like it. Yeah, it really pulls away all the fruit that was there. The slight hints of peachiness of stone fruit. I'm not really getting any flowers anymore. What I'm getting a lot of is just French oak, black pepper, overstewed tea, overstewed coffee, ashiness, and it's very chewy. I don't know. That's about it. Yeah, was definitely better without water. Hard one to score because it does not. This is not a good swimmer. All right, I'm gonna give this. It's a little bit better than the Groult. I mean, the oak is kind of really overblown and obnoxious, but it's giving me a little bit more detail than the Groult was. So I'm going to give this an 85 minus. The minus because it really does not like oak at all. 85 minus for the Brugerolle, 1993. And we will move on to the one spirit that might challenge the Cinco Sentidos for supremacy. It is the Worthy Park 2009. Here we go. So when I tried this initially, I did not mention like cola notes on the nose. Those really came out on the palate. Now I'm absolutely getting cola notes on the nose. I'm getting RC cola with olives and black licorice and like Virginia tobacco all day long. This is very, very RC Cola driven. But you know what? I like RC Cola, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, it's clean, it's nice, it smells like a classic nutty, pot still rum, but it's still serious, right? It's still bringing the olives and the kind of aniseed fennel notes, but it's really kind of delicious and easygoing too. All right, let's see what happens on the palate. Here we go. That's really good. That's really quite good. Not a ton of development. I'm maybe getting a little bit more fennel than before. A little bit more pepperiness. But yeah, this is still doing this sort of just very classical structure of a very sweet, fruity, aromatic arrival, moving into a nice dry finish. Hard to argue with that one. But I'm not sure. I'm going to go back to the Cinco Sentidos because I think this is better. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's better. And the Cinco Sentidos just edges out the Worthy Park. And the Worthy Park is good. Make no mistake, the Worthy Park is very, very good. RC Cola, fennel, absinthe, olives, brine, rocks, some flowers, Virginia tobacco, burley tobacco, a little bit of black Cavendish tobacco, and that really nice kind of like rose-watery, Turkish delighty kind of note. This is very, very nice. I can't get up to an 89 with this, but no, I'm not going to give it a plus. I'm going to give it a straight 88 out of 100. This is very nice. If it's still around, I will almost certainly be chasing down a bottle of this. Yeah, these are really good. So to sum up, the Roger Groult, for the price tag and the stats, a little bit disappointing, but absolutely delicious if price is no object. Very easygoing. You can throw this in a glass and not worry about having to babysit it. You just drink it, and it's yummy and it's delicious. 84 points for that. The Cinco Sentidos from Antogenes Garcia. I'm extremely impressed with this. I'm going to give it 89 out of 100. And I'm going to probably seek out more stuff from this producer, actually. The Brugerolle from Black Adder, 1993. I mean, if you really like that sort of French oak heavy profile, sure, I understand. But also, like, why not just buy the Daniel Beaulieu stuff? I feel like that's a better way of doing the same kind of thing. I would buy that instead. And the Worthy Park, 2009, from Habitation Valier. As expected, this is really good. I don't think it's as good as the Cinco Sentidos, but it's pretty damn good. And if it's still around, I will be grabbing a bottle. Thank you for watching, and cheers.